Hi, everyone. Andrew with Boxing Circle here. Today I'm calling in from San Diego, California, and I'm really excited to announce that I have my dear friend Joshua JJ Pagan. Is it Pagan? Is that right? Did I pronounce that correctly?
Pagan.
Pagan.
Yeah.
Thank you. And he is calling in from Florida today, but normally out of Grand Rapids, Detroit, Michigan. Well, you're Detroit, Michigan, but you're going to be fighting in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Is that correct?
I'm actually from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, you are from Grand
Yeah.
Rapids. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for correcting me on that. I
Yep.
appreciate that. So he's going to be fighting on June 14th, which is really, really exciting. And then, Josh, I want to give you your accolades here.
Hmm.
So, first and foremost, you are a two-time national amateur champion. Congratulations on that.
Thank
You
you.
are the current North American Boxing Organization champion. And you're ranked number 8 by the World Boxing Organization and number 29 by World Boxing Council. Oh my goodness. Did
Yeah.
I miss anything? Because that was quite the mouthful.
Um, I guess you could add like three-time Michigan Golden Gloves champion, state champion.
Three-time Michigan. Okay, all right. Three-time Michigan Golden Gloves champion. My goodness. You have been busy, Josh.
Yes, I have for
Yeah,
sure.
I love it. I love it. Fantastic. Okay, so what we do here at the Boxing Circle is I like to keep things positive as much as I can, but
Mhm.
what I'm really trying to do is put some good out in the world by celebrating fighters, coaches, and fans of all different levels, backgrounds, and abilities.
Yeah.
And I want to share your story and really celebrate you and all of your achievements that you have done.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we're going to do this through 5 rounds. I'm going to hear a little bit about your story and just kind of get to know you a little bit. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, it sounds great.
All right, excellent. So we're going to start with round one, a little bit of a warm up here.
Okay.
We're going to take a stroll down memory lane.
Yep.
All right. And on that stroll, I want to go back to the very first time that you picked up a pair of boxing gloves because I know you've been boxing for at least 12 years now. And so let's go back to the very first time you picked up a pair of boxing gloves. What was going through your mind when you picked up that pair of boxing gloves?
Um, I felt like this is what I wanted to do. Like I knew this is what I wanted to do when I picked up those gloves. This actually goes
Ah,
back we gotta go back 19 years to the
okay.
very, very beginning, back in 2007, being 7 years old, living in Grand Rapids, Michigan. My dad hosted a fight party for
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya, one of the biggest fights in
Oh,
boxing
get
history.
out. Oh, I love this. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, tell me more.
Yeah. And so we grew up around boxing a lot, but that was the most significant fight that I remember watching at that young age. And
Mm-hmm.
just seeing that atmosphere and just seeing how my family reacted to the fight, and I just knew that that's what I wanted. I wanted to be on that TV where my family would come over, have fight parties, and be able to watch me live too. So
I love this.
that really inspired me. And my dad used to be a boxer as well when he was younger.
Okay.
uh
Mm-hmm.
he he was an amateur boxer. He won a couple fights. So just knowing that he did that made me, like, it inspired me to want to do the same thing.
Oh, this is great. I love that. So it goes back 19 years. You saw the community, your family get together, celebrate, and you're just like, hey, this is really cool. I
Yeah.
want to do this too one day. So
Yes.
then when you went, fast forward a little bit later, you picked up a pair of boxing gloves. You're like, it's finally happening. This
Yep.
is happening. My dream. I'm at the starting line of my dream coming true
Mm.
and ready to put in the work. Oh, that is so exciting. I love that. And then the Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya. Oh,
Yeah.
I, yeah.
A long time ago. Yep.
Yeah. No words, no words. I love this. I just love how far back it goes, and it's really rooted in just celebrating times with your family. That's really
Yeah,
cool. Very,
absolutely.
very
Now seeing it, like, when I am fighting on TV now, I have the family gathering to watch me fight. It's like it's so surreal. And one of my biggest regrets is I won't be able to be there with them to watch
yeah,
myself live. Like, that's
yeah,
I can just imagine how excited they must be, though, and just to see how far we've come. It's a blessing.
yeah. That is so cool. That is. I can see that you kind of want to be in two places at once.
Yeah.
You want to be able to be doing it, but then also to be able to be with them and share it with them.
Yeah.
I can just imagine they're just with the support that you were just mentioning that they are so excited and they're having so much fun and they are just, cheering you on. So that's
Absolutely.
really, really cool. And I also really get how surreal it is. Like, you're just like, hey, this is finally happening. This is, my dreams coming true. That's so exciting. I
Yeah.
just love seeing people's dreams come true, and that's so much fun. That's really cool.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Congratulations on all of your success so far and all to come. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so
Thanks for
much.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna bounce into round two. This one's a
Mhm.
little bit deeper. I want to get your opinion on just really what areas could be improved
Mhm.
upon in the sport of the community boxing. So let's imagine you have like a magic wand and you could just improve one thing. Does anything come to mind?
Just in the sport in general.
The sport or the community? Yeah, whatever
Um,
just comes to mind.
there's two things. I mean,
Okay.
I'm very critical of of the presentation of boxing on TV now. You know,
Okay.
I'm very old school. I miss the old HBO
Yeah.
style documentaries 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like now it's just like it's kind of watered down a little bit. So I that's one thing I wish that I grew up fighting in the HBO era,
Right.
being able to experience that. It's that cinematic feeling that boxing had back then. It just
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like it's as prominent as it is now, you know?
Right. Right.
And another thing is I just feel like support.
Oh.
I feel like boxers need to be supported a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Just by fans, like fighters can have a bad night,
Oh
but
yeah.
when they have a bad night, they go after them. They jump right down their throat, In the
Mm-hmm.
in the social media age that we live in now, like that stuff, it can be hard. It can be hard on a fighter, that pressure,
Right.
But
Right.
you're either built with it, you're either built to withstand that or you're not. So like you,
Right.
you do have to adapt and adjust to it. But one thing I just wish is just like we got a little bit more grace,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yep.
'Cause
Yeah.
we put a lot on the line. We put our lives on the
You
line,
do. You
It's a
do.
sacrifice.
Oh, absolutely. I love that you mentioned both things. I want to come back to the support because that's huge. And that's something
Mhm.
I do hear actually quite often, Josh. But before I get into that,
Yeah.
I totally get about like, I remember also boxing just being like this big, like, fight night, this big production, the HBO,
Yes.
even, and I'm going to age myself here too, myself, but I remember as a kid, like in the mid to late 80s, like it was so hard to see a fight
Hmm.
because it was so pricey to get. But it was such a big, like you were saying, big production. But that fight night that you were talking about in the very beginning with your
Yeah.
family, it was huge.
Hmm.
And you felt so lucky and privileged to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Same with the 90s. And then, like you're right, the documentary style. Hey, let's get this out there. Let's tell the backstory a bit more. Let's
Hmm.
talk about both opponents and what they went through to get there. I
Yeah.
completely agree with that. And yeah, I hope things kind of return to that just a little bit in terms of giving a little more depth into the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then what you said about the support for
Hmm.
fighters, this
Yeah.
is something that I have been hearing in a couple different ways. Some fighters been talking about, that boxers should have a union for protection for financial, legal, health insurance, things like that. But then also, yeah, there should be some grace. And I love that you said fighters can have a rough night
Hmm.
because that makes it so relatable, Josh, in terms of that first and foremost, you, you know, even when a brand new fighter goes in and they're having a bad training day,
Yeah.
they can go, oh, Josh even said, JJ
Yeah.
Pagan even said that he has a rough day
Hmm.
here and there, and that his opponents and that his teammates also have rough days. It makes it so relatable. So we gives ourselves some grace, but at the same time, we do need to give you're putting everything on the line. You're
Yeah,
putting
we're all
all this.
human. We're
Yeah.
all human. We all, we make mistakes in the ring. We do what we can to be the best that we can be.
Mhm.
And if it doesn't reflect on fight night, there's always another fight.
Yeah.
So don't count us out. Don't count us out after one
Yeah.
bad night. So yeah,
And you never know what somebody's going through behind the scenes, right?
exactly. Yeah.
You know, that rough night could have be there's something personal could have been going on. Could have been in your head a little too much, which I get that when I get in the ring. I know I don't do well when I'm in my head.
Hmm.
And I mean, there's just yeah, don't count you out and give these fighters some grace and support because you're putting in you're putting your life on the line. You put your blood, sweat, tears into this sport. You're giving everything to the sport. So don't just discard just based on a rough night. It's like that happens. You're human.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Yeah. And I just advise all the fighters, like, it is harsh. This
mhm,
sport is harsh, and you're gonna hear words, but you got. I
mhm,
mean, just have that thick skin to use it as fuel, because I've done that over the years. I've used that as fuel. I've been doubted. You know, I've been pretty much trashed with words. So
mhm,
I use that to fuel me each and every day when I'm training.
mhm.
I remember somebody says from years ago, and I use that. I'm like, I'm gonna prove them wrong. So
Good.
yeah,
Good
that's
for
my advice.
you.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. That's really, really great. And you're right. I wish people would, give a little more grace personally, but then also you're right, have that thick skin because it is going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Those haters are going to come up.
Absolutely.
They
Yeah.
are going to come up, whether it's in the ring or outside the ring or in life. And so just having that thick skin and being like, all right, I'm going to use this to drive me forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Okay, now we're going to do a fun one. Round three,
Mm,
we're going to time travel and we can see any fight live. It could be any decade, any generation. You and I,
mm.
we're going to time travel. We're going to trade some notes,
Okay.
but you can only choose one, Josh. What fight
Yep.
would you want to see live?
Mm. For me personally,
Hmm.
it would have to be Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Even though the
Okay.
fight,
Yes.
even though the
Yes.
fight turned out the way it did, it wasn't nothing like wasn't as exciting that people expected. But it was the
Hmm.
fight that I wanted for all of my childhood. I grew up watching Floyd and Pacquiao in separate fights all these years, and I just wanted them to fight each other.
Yeah.
And I would have done anything just to be in that stadium that night to feel that
Hmm.
atmosphere. It was a
Yeah.
very electric atmosphere. So if I could go back in time, I'd go see that fight.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. That is a It is a pivotal fight to choose at the end of the day
Yeah.
because you've got these two powerhouses, right?
Hmm.
And so it makes sense to want to see them, fight and you want them to, you know, just to really see that action. At the
Yeah.
same time, I also like how you tied it in with your history. You're like, hey, I've been watching both these fighters. I grew up watching both of them. Of course, I want to see them fight. And of course, I want to be around that atmosphere, regardless
Yes.
how the fight kind of came together, but just being able to experience that
Hmm.
and the thrill. And there's nothing like seeing a fight live and that experience and that atmosphere and
Yes.
that fun and that electricity. It's a great time. I'm curious because there's so much talk about the rematch.
Hmm.
Do you have any thoughts or opinions on that? Or is that you're just like, I want to go back and see that previous one?
I mean, I would have loved to see them fight back in 2009,
Yeah.
2010, when they were
Yes.
both at their absolute
Oh,
peak of
epic.
their abilities.
Hmm.
But I think this next fight will be a little more exciting because they're both a little older. They lost a step,
Yeah.
and I feel like that will make for more mistakes to be made on their parts. So I
Hmm.
feel like it could be a little more interesting. Their reflexes are a little slower, but they're both gonna
Yeah.
come like bring it their all. So it might be a
Right.
little bit more exciting this time around.
I agree. I agree. I'm with you. But we'll go back in time. We'll see it together and we'll trade some notes and
Yeah.
just, we'll have a good time. And then we can just go, also go see that fight. too.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
So there we go. I love it. I love it. Okay, we are already on to round four. There's only two more rounds left. I do want to just sometimes this one gets a little bit deeper. You can go as deep or as light as you want, whatever
Mhm.
you feel comfortable with.
Yep.
But it's really about what boxing means and brings to you. I've heard a wide range of answers on this, and I could say it's something that's been boxing for over 10 years that it brings so much to me, mental health wise, physical health, community. I'm just absolutely in love with the boxing community
Mhm.
personally. But what does it mean and bring to you?
That is a good question.
I know. It's again, you can go as light or as deep as you, whatever you feel comfortable with. My number
Yeah.
one priority is make sure you feel comfortable.
Okay. I feel like it changes every couple years. You know,
Oh, okay. I like this.
it,
Yeah.
it's different chapters in my life. I see it
Hmm.
as different chapters in my life. When I first began, you know, I was just a young kid that loved the sport,
Right.
and I lost my first three fights as an amateur. You
Hmm.
know, that's where I began. I lost my first three
Yeah.
fights to the same person. So
Okay.
that's how
Yeah.
I began. I began rough, and I my
Yeah.
two other brothers were boxing, and they were both winning
Okay.
their fights. My brother,
Hmm.
my older brother had the power. My
Hmm.
younger brother had the height and he had a lot of skill.
Okay.
But what I had was that sheer like determination and
Hmm.
just that want to get better,
Yeah.
you know, and that work ethic. And I
Hmm.
ended up being the last one to do it. They both chose different paths in life. Good
Okay.
paths. They both chose
Yeah.
good paths in life. But yeah, that chapter in my life was a lot of doubt in myself.
Okay. Oh, sure.
And then I moved on from that chapter. I kept training. I could have easily quit as a 13-year
Hmm.
old, going to school and everything. I could have chose a different sport, but I stuck strictly with boxing.
Okay.
So I continued into the next chapter. I started
Hmm.
winning fights, learning more
Hmm.
about the game. Me and my dad started learning more because we both have been in it for this whole time. The whole time I've
Hmm.
been boxing. He's my right hand man. So we both just learned as we went, you know, and then a couple years down the line, we ended up just branching out and training by ourselves, going to different states for sparring, different tournaments. That chapter I'd say was that was like my breakout as an amateur. And
Hmm.
I'd say my last year as an amateur before turning pro, that was my best year because I was figuring out ways to win. Like I was learning how to
Right.
win, and then I finally went pro. That was the next chapter in my life. So each chapter was different. First chapter, overcoming adversity. Next
Hmm.
chapter, learning the game, adapting, getting better, just learning myself as a fighter.
I love this. Hmm.
Then this next chapter, that was before turning pro, it was finally just getting it down, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I ended up winning the national tournament, the USA national tournament. And then the next month, I turned pro. And now it's just another chapter. It's just you're learning again. You got to
Hmm.
keep going and going, and that's what I'm doing now. Like I'm learning as I go, and I feel like I'm improving each and every fight, and the sky's the limit.
This is great. Thank you so much for painting this picture
Mm.
because I'm getting so much from this. And I love how you compared it to really just life. You're growing, and each chapter is not always a walk in the park or super easy. I'm almost picturing of you going climbing this ladder,
Yeah.
you know, and the next rung may or may not be challenging, more challenging than the previous one,
Mm.
maybe a little bit easier, but the one above that might be more challenging.
Yes.
And so I like how really you're just kind of comparing it to, to life.
It is
And
so
there are going to,
similar to life.
it is,
Oh.
it is.
Boxing is the most raw, the
Hmm.
most raw sport you can be in. Like, there's a reason why many consider it number one, the hardest sport,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's so comparable to life. You're gonna get knocked down. You're gonna face adversity, but you're gonna get you. It's all about how you get back up and keep going. You can either give up or you can keep moving forward, and you're gonna get past it, and you're gonna eventually get better. So
Absolutely.
that's boxing for you right there.
And boxing will expose you, you
In
know?
every way.
Yeah.
If you get too comfortable, if you get too cocky, you get too comfortable, you'll be humbled and you get knocked down
Mhm.
a couple pegs. That
You will.
just like in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing this.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful answer. It's one I haven't heard of that comparison before, but it makes so much sense in
Yeah.
terms of, this round and this question. It makes so much sense and just really is going to really, like we said, expose you, but just also it is so much like, I mean, it's so similar to just going through life and,
Yeah.
what's the next season going to bring you and how are
Exactly.
you going to handle it?
Hmm.
And, and what are you going to learn along the way? So thank
Absolutely.
you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Championship round, my friend. We're here. We're round five.
Yeah.
All right. So today's the day. Somebody is picking up a pair of boxing gloves for the first time, or walking into a boxing gym, or stepping in the ring for the very first time. Here's the thing, we don't know their age. We don't know
Hmm.
their physical or mental abilities. We don't know their background, but they have the courage to get started. What advice do you want to give that brand new fighter?
Consistency is gonna get you to where you need to be. And
Okay. Yeah.
especially this sport and whatever you do in life, you have to
Hmm.
be consistent with it. Like I said, you're
Hmm.
gonna face these chapters in your life. There's gonna be problems. There's gonna be obstacles. You can have many ups, many downs. But as long as you're consistent with it, you continue working, wanting to be the best that you can be, you're gonna get you're gonna get the results out of it. And that's what
Yeah.
it takes. You need to be consistent.
I love this. And that actually kind of goes back to what we were talking about at the very beginning. Fighters have bad days.
Yes.
So if you're consistent, even through those bad days, those days that humbled you or you got frustrated, but you keep working through it, you're going
Mhm.
to get to where you want to be.
Absolutely. You have to
Yeah,
have fully belief in yourself. And I mean,
absolutely.
a lot of people aren't religious, but I mean, God doesn't put a challenge that's too great in front of you. You
I
know,
agree.
I believe that. So
Yeah.
whatever chapter you're going through, whatever you're going, this is also for mental health. If you're going through a hard time
Mhm.
in your life, just think about all the times in your life you didn't feel like you were gonna get past it, and you got past
Yeah,
it. You look back at it years later, and you're like, "Wow, I didn't think I was gonna get out of that."
right.
You will get out of it. Trust me, you will get out of that. You just
Yeah,
have to just keep moving forward, have faith, and everything's gonna be okay.
I love this. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Mhm.
It personally, it hits home, Josh. I don't know if you know, but the reason I started the boxing circle is because I'm going through one of the most difficult chapters of my life. And I started it just a little over 2 months ago,
Mhm.
maybe 2.5 months now. And I thought, okay, how can I take this really, really rough chapter, this really difficult situation, and hopefully turn it into something positive? So that's
Yeah,
completely why I started this.
yeah.
And I was like, okay, the sport of boxing has given me so much over the last 10 years. How can I give back and work my way through this really difficult chapter? So
Mhm.
you're right. It'll be there for you and it's going to help you out.
Absolutely. Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing. I love the advice for new fighters. Consistency is key. And I do love, I'm going to say it again, I said in the very beginning, but I love how transparent you are is that, hey, we're all human. We all
Mhm.
have our rough days. Give ourselves some grace, give each other some grace. And it just makes it so relatable. And so I just want to really emphasize how much you're going to be helping others through this.
Yes.
Just, they're going to be like, all right, Josh also has those rough days. Sometimes he's
Yeah.
frustrated in the gym or he's, going, he gets annoyed with how he's not doing,
Yeah.
something the way he wants to be doing it. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, well, this has been so much fun. I appreciate you meeting with me while you're in camp and taking the time to chat with me and share your story. I want you to, this is your time for you to shout out to your friends, family, and fans. And then let's also, announce this fight, make sure that people are going to be going and seeing your fight on June 14th as well.
All
So
right.
I'll go ahead and let you take it away.
So I want to give a shout out to my family at home, my dad who's in camp with me. Having to, he deals with me every camp when I'm like cutting
Mhm.
weight and stuff, going through the hard work with me,
Yes.
witnessing all the hard work, and over the years too. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to my family that supports me. That's back home. Shout out to my fiance that's back home. That she supports
Mhm.
me. She keeps me strong and mentally focused. Got to thank God, because without
Mhm.
God, I wouldn't be in this position right now.
Right.
Um, uh, you guys can watch me fight June 14th live on the Zone. From Tony Monroe, you guys can come out watch it live, or you can watch it on TV. Please tune in. It's gonna be a great show.
I love it. Thank you so much for everything. Again, this is so valuable, and I appreciate you sharing a little bit of your story. And I just know you're going to help so many folks, whether it's here on Millions or if it's on social media such as Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. I just really, really appreciate you taking the time and just sharing a little bit of your story. And thank you so
Yeah,
much, Josh. I'm excited for you for June 14th for you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. And let's stay in touch. I'll be in your corner, my friend.
absolutely. I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate the support.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will be chatting with you soon.
All right, sounds good. Have a good day.
Okay, you do. Bye bye.
Bye.